That is Tortilla Verde con queso made. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing a Spanish dish. Don't be put off, everybody can make this, and it's my take on a Spanish tortilla with a twist. We are making Tortilla Verde con queso. Sounds posh, looks posh. However, it translates to green tortilla with cheese. And the green is a cabbage. Cabbage, potatoes, bit of garlic, bit of onion, eggy milk mixture, olive oil, a little bit of butter, salt, pepper, Spanish tortilla. It's dead easy to make, and it's one of those, you know, when you make it you can serve it as a main or as a side, and you can just take slices out and eat it. Fantastic with red wine, goes good with accompaniments of all sorts of descriptions. Eat on picnics, anywhere, take to work. Right, we have a cabbage. Straightforward cabbage. It's a small cabbage. Okay, now we are going to slice it, but I do not want that stalk. Now, if you like stalk, eat stalk. That is your choice. So we're going to take that stalk out of there, and we are going to slice thinly this small cabbage. Now, it is a tiny cabbage, as you can see. If you had a big cabbage, you would use half a cabbage. And this is one of those organic cabbages where you've got to peel off most of the leaves to get to the cabbage, because it's all eaten away and black and it has all sorts of things crawling around in it. However, thinly slice, and we need to very thinly slice this one so it's nice and steady, look. We don't have to rush anything. Okay, that's nice and straightforward. We are going to saute that down in a pan. So you take yourself a pan, and we want some olive oil in that pan. You know, we're making a Spanish dish, we're going to use olive oil, but you know, I'm a little bit sneaky. I want a little bit of butter in there on that cabbage. Don't panic about this, dump that in there. And then we'll get on with some onions and garlic. Yep, I know it's not on yet. We're not worried about that. Onion. Now the onion has to be thinly sliced. Nice and steady, thinly slice your onion. So you got all these nicely thin slices in that pan with that cabbage. Again, thinly slice and get it in your pan. Garlic, a little bit of a squash, and a little chop over. Garlic optional. If you don't like garlic, you don't want it in, don't put it in. Simple. Now you can thinly slice this, you can dice it, you can mince it. The choice is yours. It's endless. Garlic in that pan. Okay, now in here I have some peeled potatoes already, and we are going to slice them and put them back in the pan. Now I'm cheating. When you make a tortilla, you can make it many ways. And you can just fry the sliced potatoes down in olive oil in the pan. We are going to parboil those, and then we're going to fry them. So take your potatoes, and we are thinly slicing. Something like that. Now, if you want to use a mandolin or anything like that, that's up to you. You know, whatever makes it easier. We want thin sliced potatoes. And we're going to do that with all our potatoes. Now look, slice off the bottom, the potato has a flat edge. Okay, there's our potatoes in the pan, a little bit of seasoning, salt to taste. You know, the potatoes taste of nothing, they're going to boil in that salty water, that's all it is. So the salt's in there with those potatoes, and I'm going to stick that on the ring behind me while I pan fry that. We bring this up to the boil, and as soon as it comes to the boil, we give it 5 minutes, turn it off. Okay, this is straightforward. Pan on, not too high. Now I am going in there with just a pinch of dry thyme. Optional, you don't have to put any herbs in if you don't want, but you know, you're relying on just the salt, pepper and the veg. So a little bit of seasoning there gives it an underlying flavour. Tiny bit of salt just help. Just bring out that moisture from the cabbage and the onion, and I am going in there with pepper. Get that flavour in there as it cooks down. Right, quick stir fry on this. We're not really cooking it with colour. If it gets colour on, so be it, it doesn't matter. All we're trying to do is cook this down with that little bit of flavour, that little bit of seasoning. Now we're just keeping it moving. We're going to get that onion, the garlic mixed in there with the cabbage and the thyme. A little bit of seasoning dropped through there. It's going to start to wilt down, and all we're doing is we're cooking out the moisture of that cabbage and onions a little bit. Try and not make it so wet when we use it in our tortilla. Cheese today is going to be cheddar and mozzarella. A little bit of mozzarella for that stringiness. Cheddar in there because it's readily available all around the world. If you have a Spanish cheese and you're making this in Spain or any Spanish country, stick it in. Of course, a recipe like this is open to any type of seasoning. A little bit of Spanish smoked paprika through there, fantastic. I won't be going with any other seasoning in here apart from the salt and pepper and that thyme. Okay, that's good enough. Let's get that flame off. Wait for the potatoes. We are going to let them cool down a little minute. We're going to drain them, let them cool down. We're going to let this cool down just a little minute too, because we're going to mix it up with our egg mixture. Okay, in here, look, I've got some eggs. I'm just going to give them a light beating. And I'm going to go in there with some black pepper. A little bit of black pepper in there. That's going to put that flavour in all the way through there. And we want a little bit of salt. Now, salt and pepper to taste, up to you. Right, that is our eggy mixture. If we put that straight in with our potato and cabbage, that is going to be quite firm. If we add a splash of milk or cream, we have a lighter mix through our tortilla. Now, also in our mix, before I add my potato and everything to this, I'm going to go in there with some cheese. I've got cheddar, I've got mozzarella. Just get that in there. Now you can flavour this up as much as you want. If you want to put any more mixed herbs in or anything, chili flakes, anything, up to you. Now all we're doing is we're putting our cabbage and our potatoes in there, and we're going to give it a real good stir through. I'll just give that a quick stir in there first. Oh, fantastic. And then we need to add our potatoes. So our potatoes have cooled off quite nicely. Okay, with this, turn it in gently. We don't want to end up with mashed potatoes, but we do want chunks of potato in there. And that's going to be nicely incorporated in our cheesy egg mixture. Okay, we're going in this pan with some olive oil. About 3 tablespoons, somewhere around there. And then we want to be putting a flame on low. And then we're going to go in that pan with our mix, working quite quickly. So we got that in there. And this is where we're doing the sneaky one. We want some cheese in there. On there with some more of that potato cabbage mix. Come on. Put a lid on. We want to try and steam it all up inside there. Keep the flame low, and what we'll do in a minute, we'll just come along with our spatula and we'll move it in. Try and bring it in as we cook. You'll see in a minute. Okay, so what you got going on here, look. You've got like a steaming effect going on, nice and steady in there. And what you need to do is just come around there with your spatula and just loosen it from the side and bring it in. Nice and gently, in you come, and it squashes, it compresses the sides up. And what happens is it helps to release the moisture back to the sides, which helps to cook. It's just a little tip, you know. Some people do it, some people don't. Put your lid back on. Keep cooking nice and slow. You'll see when it all comes together, it starts to thicken up like a really thick omelette. It's a little bit of a guesstimate, this, really. You know, we're guessing that it's cooked underneath. I can't smell any burning. Okay, now here comes the most difficult part of this operation. We'll turn that off a minute, and we're going to go over with a plate over there. And we're going to flip that and put it back in the pan. So we'll flip that over like that. He says, "Ooh, be careful, that's hot." And then that goes back in our pan. Whew. And that's a lucky one. That is a real lucky one. And those little bits of onion that I've caught there, look, we'll have off there. Nice and low. Nice and low. We're trying to crisp over that bottom that we've just flipped over. I think we're very lucky there. Oh. Now you don't have to put the lid on now, because all we're trying to do is put a bit of colour on that bottom and firm it up a little bit on the bottom. That's okay. Chuck some parsley over there and you won't miss those little bits. It's still a good tortilla. And this is going to be on the bottom anyway, because we're going to flip it back again. So just be careful, do not blacken the other end. Just give it a little couple of minutes only to put a little bit of colour on there, and set up that top. That's all we're trying to do. Come on. Oh, oh, there we have it. Look at that. That is superb. That really is tremendous. And we get some more cheese on there. Look at that. That is what we're talking. Look at that gooiness of that cheese on there. My mouth is watering. Oh, my mouth is really watering. Now I'm not even going to chop this up. We're just going to a little bit of that on there. Come on, just look at that melted cheese just melting naturally over the top. That's going to give us that really nice, thick, cheesy flavour. That gooiness of that cheese. We got the cheese inside with the cabbage and potatoes. Oh, 5 minutes and now we're going to cut a slice. You know, I just can't wait that long. I know it sounds crazy, but I will get in here. Oh, come on, I've got it. Let's use it. A bit more grated cheese. That is Tortilla Verde con Queso made. Oh, there we have it. Look at that. Oh, that is absolutely superb. Oh, look. Look in here. Look at that melted cheese. We got the cheese, we got the egg, we got the potato, got the cabbage. That is on another level. Oh dear. That is just, oh, that is amazing. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, smash that like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. We'll catch you in the next video.